everybody. I'm going to have a little bit of a maths focus today. There was a task on Purple Mash where you had to compare and order fractions, and there were a couple of us who were having a little bit of trouble doing that, so I thought we'd go over some examples today. So on my whiteboard in front of me, I've got three fractions that I want us to compare, and I want to order them from smallest to largest. So I've got 2/3, a half, and 3/4. Now, for me to be able to order those, I don't just pick, well, number one, that numerator's the smallest, so I'll put that at the beginning, and then 2/3, I'll put that next, because the number two's the next biggest, and 3/4, I'll put that last. We've got to come up with a common denominator to begin with. A common denominator is a number that all of our denominators go into. So I need a multiple that 3, 2 and 4 go into. So I'm going to come up with my denominator now. You can have a little think about whether you come up with the same one as me. Ready? My common denominator that I've chosen is 12 because I know that 3, 2 and 4 all go into 12. Okay, 12 is in the 3 times table, it's in the 2 times table and the 4 times table. So what I need to do next is think about how many times 3 goes into 12. Well, if I count on my fingers, using my times table, 3, 6, 9, 12, I know it goes in 4 times. So I'm going to put tiny 4 just there. Now, whatever we do to the bottom number, we must do to the top number when we are converting fractions. So I'm going to put a little 4 at the top here, and I know that 2 times 4 is 8. So my new numerator here is 8. Over here, I'm going to do exactly the same. So I'm going to ask myself, how many times does 2 go into 12? Well, I know it goes in 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I know it goes in 6 times. So I'm going to put my little 6 there. Whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So I'll put my little 6 there as well. So 1 times 6, nice and easy. My new numerator is going to be 6 there as well. And the last one over here, I'm going to follow the same method that I've done for my first 2 fractions. How many times does 4 go into 12? Well, I'll use my times tables again. 4, 8, 12. And it goes in 3 times, so I put my tiny 3 there. And whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So I multiply it by 3 there. 3 times 3, 3, 6, 9. So now I've got 3 new fractions that are all have the same denominator, and now I can compare them. So I want the smallest here, and I want the largest here. So my smallest fraction is going to be the one with the smallest numerator. So I can see that just here, that's 6/12. Okay, now when I go to write my fraction here, I'm not actually going to write 6/12. I'm going to write 1/2. Okay, because that's my original fraction. So I'm going to cross that one out as well, because otherwise I get confused. My next largest one, well, I've only got 8/12 or 9/12 left. So it must be 8/12. Am I going to write 8/12 here? No, I'm going to write 2/3 because that's my original fraction. So I'll put my 2/3 just there. And finally, nice and easy, I've just got one left. I've got one fraction left, which is 9/12, but I'm going to write 3/4 because that was my original fraction. So as you can see, from smallest we've gone half, then to 2/3, and then we've gone to 3/4. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you one that I want you to have a little go at. You can take a picture of your work and send it to me on Twitter, or you can write it in the comments, or even attach it to Purple Mash for me. So I've got 2 here for you now. So the first one, I want you to compare and order 3/5, 2/9 and 2/3. So remember, you need to find that common denominator, a number that 5, 9 and 3 go into. And then the second one is 5/8, 1/6 and 3/4. So remember, we need to think about what number is in the 8 times table, the 6 times table, and the 4 times table. Okay? I look forward to seeing how you get on with that. It's not very easy, but actually, once you get that first step, you've just got to keep repeating it. Okay? So see you soon, and I look forward to seeing how you get on. Bye.